GeopByte.
Welcome to GeopByte. Hi students, in the previous video we have discussed some special parallelograms. In this video we are going to complete this chapter by discussing exercise number 3.4. Now let us see exercise 3.4. State whether true or false. A. All rectangles are squares. False. So, false. Because all squares are rectangles. But all rectangles are not squares. So the given statement is false. All rectangles are squares? No, because all squares are rectangles. But all rectangles are not squares. So in rectangles, only opposite sides are equal. But in squares, all sides are equal. So that's the reason all squares are rectangles, but all rectangles are not squares. So in rectangle, only opposite sides are equal, but in square, opposite sides are equal and all sides also equal. Now next, B. All rhombuses are parallelograms. Yes, true. All rhombuses are parallelograms because in rhombus, opposite sides are parallel and opposite angles are also parallel. So that's why all rhombuses are parallelograms. Next, C. All squares are rhombuses and also rectangles. Yes, true. We know that in square, opposite sides are equal and all sides also equal, and opposite sides are parallel to each other. So all squares are rhombuses and also rectangles. Now D. All squares are not parallelograms. False. Because all squares are parallelograms. All squares are parallelograms as opposite sides are parallel and opposite angles are. So all squares are not parallelograms. This statement is wrong because all squares are parallelogram. We know that in parallelogram opposite angles are equal and opposite sides are parallel to each other. So in square also opposite angles are equal and their sides are also parallel to each other. So that's why the given statement is false because all squares are parallelograms as opposite sides are parallel and opposite angles are equal. Now let us see the next one. E. All kites are rhombuses. False. Here the statement is false because the sides of kite are not of equal length. So the given statement is all kites are rhombuses. It is false because In rhombus, all sides are equal, but in kite, all sides are not of equal length. So therefore false. The sides of kites are not of equal length. So all kites are not rhombuses. Next, F. All rhombuses are kites. Yes, true. It is true. All rhombuses are kites. Next, G. All parallelograms are trapezium. True. We know that in parallelogram we have opposite sides parallel. In trapezium also we have one pair of parallel sides. So all parallelograms are trapezium. Next, H. All squares are trapezium. True. Yes, all squares are trapeziums because in trapezium we have one pair of parallel sides. So, in square also we have opposite sides are parallel. So, therefore all squares are trapeziums. Now, let us see the second question. Identify all the quadrilaterals that have A. 4 sides of equal length, B. 4 right angles. First, let us see for A. A. 4 sides of equal length. They given 4 sides of equal length. We know that square and rhombus have all 4 sides of equal length. So, square and rhombus have all 4 sides of equal length. That is, let this is a square ABCD. We know that in square all sides are equal to each other, and let this be a rhombus PQRS. So in rhombus also we have all sides of equal length. So that's the reason square and rhombus have all 4 sides of equal length. Now let us see B. 4 right angles. So we know that square and rectangle have 4 right angles. 4 right angles. So for a square, let us draw a square KLMN. So the angles near K, L, M, N are equal because here opposite sides are equal and all sides are also equal. So that is the reason sides near every corner will be equal, that is 90 degree. So square has all angles equal. Now let us see for a rectangle. Rectangle, let it be A, B, C, D. So in rectangle also we have all 4 sides, all 4 angles equal, that is 90 degree. So that is the reason square and rectangle have 4 right angle. Right angle means 90 degree. So all 4 angles we have 90 degree, and here also at every angle we will have 90 degree. Third one, a rhombus. A square is a rhombus. A square is a rhombus because it has all sides of equal length and diagonals bisect each other. So we know that in a rhombus all sides are of equal length and diagonals also bisect each other. And in square also we see that all sides are of equal length and diagonals also bisect each other. So that is why a square is a rhombus, because it has all sides of equal length and diagonals bisect each other. Now let us see fourth one, a rectangle. So a square is a rectangle because each interior angle of a square is 90 degree. So a square is a rectangle because each interior angle of a square is 90 degree. We know that in a rectangle all four angles are equal and they measure 90 degree. And in a square also all four angles are equal and they measure 90 degree. So that is the reason a square is a rectangle, because each interior angle of a square is 90 degrees. Now let us see the third question. Explain how a square is. First one, a quadrilateral. Second, a parallelogram. Third, a rhombus. Fourth, a rectangular. First one, a quadrilateral. So a square is a quadrilateral because it has four sides. So we know that quadrilateral means it should be of four sides. So a square is a quadrilateral because it has four sides. So in square we have four sides, therefore it is a quadrilateral. Now let us see second one. It is given a parallelogram. So a square is a parallelogram because opposite sides are parallel. Opposite sides are parallel and opposite angles are equal. So we know that in a parallelogram, opposite sides are parallel to each other and opposite angles are also equal. So in a square also, opposite sides are parallel and opposite angles are equal. Therefore, a square is a parallelogram because opposite sides are parallel and opposite angles are equal. Now, let us see the fourth question. Name the quadrilaterals whose diagonals, first bit, bisect each other. Second bit are perpendicular bisectors of each other. Third bit are equal. So let us see the first one. So they have asked, name the quadrilateral whose diagonals bisect each other. So answer is parallelogram, rhombus, square and rectangle. So we know that in parallelogram, in rhombus, in square and in rectangle, diagonals bisect each other. That means diagonals divide the lines into two equal halves. That is, if this is a square, diagonals bisect each other. So here this length will be equal to this length and this length will be equal to this length. And similarly for parallelogram, rhombus and rectangle, diagonals bisect each other. Now let us see for second one. So name the quadrilateral whose diagonals are perpendicular bisectors of each other. So answer is square and rhombus. So in the quadrilaterals, square and rhombus, diagonals are perpendicular bisectors of each other. Perpendicular bisectors means here it will make angle 90 degree. So when we are going to bisect the diagonals, the angle is made 90 degree. And in rhombus also. So we know that this is a rhombus and these two are diagonals. So in rhombus also, diagonals bisect each other by making right angle near point of intersection of diagonals. So this also right angle, this makes right angle and this also makes right angle. So these two are perpendicular to each other, and in square also these two are perpendicular to each other. So therefore square and rhombus. In square and rhombus, diagonals are perpendicular bisectors of each other. Now let us see third one. So name the quadrilateral whose diagonals are equal. Answer is rectangle and a square. Rectangle and square. So let us draw a rectangle. So in a rectangle, the diagonals are equal. So let us mark it as A, B, C, D. And here also A, B, C, D. So in this square, AD is one diagonal and CB is one diagonal. And here AC is one diagonal and BD is one diagonal. So here diagonals, these two diagonals are equal to each other. AC equal to BD. And in square also, AD is equal to BC. So therefore, the diagonals in rectangle and in square are of equal length. Now, let us see fifth question. Explain why a rectangle is a convex quadrilateral. Solution. So, rectangle is a convex quadrilateral. Because the diagonals of a rectangle are inside the figure only. Here the figure is rectangle, that is rectangle. So rectangle is a convex quadrilateral because the diagonals of rectangle are inside the figure only. Here figure means rectangle. So that means the diagonals of rectangle are inside the rectangle itself. So let us draw a rectangle and mark it as A, B, C, D. Now AC will be one diagonal and BD will be one diagonal. So we have drawn two diagonals inside the rectangle but not outside the rectangle. We know that in the starting class, that is Introduction to Convex Polygon, we have learnt in a convex polygon the diagonals are interior. That means the diagonals are inside the polygon. So in the similar way, convex quadrilateral means a quadrilateral in which the diagonals are drawn inside the quadrilateral. So here rectangle is also a quadrilateral in which the diagonals are drawn inside the rectangle. Now let us see the sixth question. ABC is a right angled triangle and O is the midpoint of the side opposite to the right angle. Explain why O is equidistant from ABC. The dotted lines are drawn additionally to help you. So the lines AD, AD and DC are drawn. So here AD is parallel to BC. AD is parallel to BC and AB parallel to DC. AB is parallel to DC. Also here AD is equal to BC. AD is equal to BC and AB is equal to DC. AB is equal to DC. So therefore ABCD is a rectangle because the opposite sides are parallel and equal. So ABCD is a rectangle because the opposite sides are parallel. So opposite sides are parallel and also equal. So we know that in this rectangle the diagonals AC and BD bisect each other. In a rectangle the diagonals are of equal length and bisect each other. So in this rectangle AC is one diagonal and BD is also a diagonal. So these two diagonals are equal, that is AC is equal to BD and in diagonal AC. So here we know that AC is a diagonal and O is the midpoint. So now here OA is equal to OC, because we know that in rectangle diagonals are of equal length and bisect each other. Bisect meaning is that it divides the line into two equal halves. So O acts as a midpoint and divides this line into two equal halves. So this length will be equal to this length. So OA equal to OC. In diagonal AC, OA is equal to OC. And in diagonal BD. In diagonal BD, here also same, OB will be equal to OD. OB is equal to OD. So, from these three statements, we can say that here AC equal to BD, and here we see that in diagonal AC, OA is equal to OC. So, we can write OA is equal to OC equal to, coming to BD. In diagonal BD, OB is equal to OD. So, equal to OB equal to OD. So, in a rectangle, OA is equal to OB, OB is equal to OC, and OC equal to OD, OD equal to OA. So, therefore, thus O. So, O is equidistant O is equidistant from ABC. AB and C. Here OA equal to OB equal to OC equal to OD. So that is the reason O is equidistant from A, B and C, and also for T. You are welcome to contact us on Telegram to clarify your doubts regarding these topics. Check out the link given in the description. Thank you for watching. Please do like, share, comment and subscribe to GeopByte.
GeopByte.